coming in? Yes. She's going to join the audio. It's all good. Hi, Bruna. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. It's all good. Yeah.
Good.
Welcome. And thank you very much for participating during the workshop. Obviously,
Yeah.
you participate in workshop. I hope that the workshop was useful for you to understand the whole process, and I'm looking forward to working with you in your validation process to get your application very, very strong. So thank you very much, Bruna. And to start with, I'm probably going to ask you to introduce yourself, where you're from, what type of engineering have you done, where are you now, and what you're doing, and what's your plans. Yes.
So not a problem. So I am from Brazil, Porto Alegre. That's my city. I graduated in industrial engineering in Brazil in 2016, and I've been living in Australia now since Jan last year. So it has been a year now. So I've been working in retail at the moment, and while validating my engineering degree, I'm also trying to find a job in my area. And yeah, that's basically what.
Good.
What I do.
Yeah, no, that's very good, Bruna. And you come from the south of Brazil, the same region that I do, from Curitiba in Paraná State. Wow, a
little bit colder than Porto Alegre.
Yeah, the south region is obviously one of the best ones. Yes, of course. And Sydney, you're currently in Sydney. I'm in Brisbane.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So, but even I think in Sydney probably is not as cold as Porto Alegre.
No.
I'm thinking. I've just been in Sydney just for a few days, so I haven't lived in Sydney. Yeah. All right. So, Bruna, you're industrial engineer. And what sort of questions do you have for tonight?
So the first thing, actually, in the industrial engineer group, which is the industrial mechanical and production.
Yep.
I was just checking the occupations, and the list also like tests include in a short list.
Yep.
Just giving some examples of the tests.
Mm-hmm.
And can I also base my career episodes on what they say on the list? Because for some reason, I think it's more, I don't know, makes more sense for me. Some of the items, like the tests that it's in there.
Yeah, do you have a particular example that you're thinking about? Or?
Yeah, I like analyzing workforce utilization, facility layout, operational data, and production schedule, and costs to determine optimum worker and equipment efficiencies.
Yes. Yeah, the industrial engineer in Australia, it's in the same category or the same classification, for example, production and plant in the same kind of a group.
Yeah.
But the industrial here in Australia looks like the production engenheiro de produção in Brazil, where you kind of improve processes. The production engineer here in Australia is slightly different. They coordinate design, they coordinate the implementation of those improvements. The industrial is, in Portuguese, we would say otimização de processos, those sort of activities that the production engineers, they do in Brazil. So the things that you described, they appear to be that it's more related to industrial engineer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So that would be the first point. Just an example. A good one is that what should I do first? Defining the career episodes or understanding all the 16 competencies to then develop to decide the career episodes and develop my writing, trying to show all the 16 in each case.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Yeah, thanks, Bruna. Obviously, first of all, it's important for you to read very carefully the booklet. So it's important for you to read the booklet and also the descriptors of each 16 competencies. So before you actually start the classes, to watch the classes, it's important that you read the descriptors of each competency, so at least you have a better idea. You will see that in one of our modules, module number 7, I have a little bit of a model how to best choose the experiences for the career episodes. So it's a little bit of a brainstorming. You have to list all the things all the experiences that you believe you will be able to use in your career episodes, and then there are a few questions that you have to answer, yes or no, etc., and that will help you to choose the best experience. One thing that it's important to think about is the experiences, they need to be a little bit complex. So make sure that when you list experiences, there's actually one question about complexity of the experiences. Because if the experience is not too complex, or it's not complex or too simple, it's going to be difficult for you to address all the 16 competencies.
Okay. Yeah.
But first of all, I think you don't need to really understand each competency before choosing the career episode. What is important is for you to watch all the 25 modules before you actually start writing. So that's an important thing. And the 25 modules, you can start organizing your experiences. That's the most important part. Every time that you think about, especially when I speak about every single competency, it's important that you pay attention. When I give the examples, you reflect about your own experience and you write down your experiences and as examples. So don't start writing straight away, because that's one of the mistakes that a lot of engineers they do, because then they start writing straight away, and in the end, after they finish writing, they believe, or they find out that the writing is not very good, so they scrap that on there and they start everything again. So, and that's frustrating. So
yeah. It's not my case.
Yeah, hopefully not.
So I think I have one question about the module 7, actually.
Yeah.
Because in that one, you were just giving an example about implementing the a quality system in the job site, which I totally understand that for civil engineers is not it's not
in the professional engineer category.
Yeah. So would that be a good case for industrial engineer? Just because my first internship, it was in manufacturing, which the main objective was to implement the quality department, actually. So I could explore that episode I just don't know what exactly I'm writing, but I could explore that experience in such a way.
Yes, the implementation of quality systems, that's a bit tricky, depending on the profession, obviously, occupation. For civil engineers, not good. For the industrial
Yeah.
engineer, you just need to be careful about the level. I believe that you're going to apply for the professional engineer level.
Yeah.
So you need to make sure that it's not just implementing. If your experience had implementation that you had to analyze what sort of improvement, especially with the new 9000 and ISO 9001, I think,
Yeah.
that since 2016, I think, they introduced the improvement bit. So it's important that if you applied that one there, not just implementing, but also analyzing what sort of, if there was an improvement with the
Yeah.
implementation of the system, or I think that's probably relevant to the industrial engineer in the professional engineer level. If you simply implement it, then it's probably more like the technologist level.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
just to avoid to be classified as. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, in that case was like the company was I don't know if that's the word in English, but it was bought for by an American
Mm-hmm.
company.
Yep.
So we were improving the efficiency of the process, the capacity, and also the quality levels and
Yeah.
standards.
Yeah. One approach. Now that you said that, one approach that you can do,
Yeah.
perhaps, is that was the analysis of the improvement. So you analyze the process, etc., with the objective to improve. And then one of the solutions and one of the options was to implement the quality system. So
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
a that's the focus that you need to do as industrial engineer. You've analyzed the
Okay.
process, you analyze, human resources, processes, whatever, etc., with the objective to improve production, improve productivity, or improve efficiency. And then
Okay.
the conclusion was that you had to implement a quality system. So
Okay.
your focus is not really in the implementation of the quality system, but your
Yeah.
focus then needs to be in the improvement process. So
Okay.
it's probably the same experience. You just need to make
Mm,
sure that you focus in the area that is relevant to the industrial engineer.
Yeah. Okay. The second point, so that's my experience that it's mostly related to production.
Yep.
The second point is that I have, and that was in 2011, the second semester. Before that, I had just we called in Portuguese trabalho de grupo na
Yeah.
faculdade.
Okay.
So it would be like a teamwork or something like from university for it was we analyzed the layout of a factory, and we suggested some improvements in the layout to reduce the lead time, to improve the efficiency.
Yep.
And it was like 3 or 4 it was a group of 3 or 4 of us. But now I can't remember what I've done or what someone else did. So should I have like a letter from the professor or from the university?
Do you have any final report that you guys did, or?
Yeah, I think so. I've already found the presentation and with pictures, like the spreadsheet that we've used.
Yeah, because usually when you do like this team group assignment, especially from the university, Engineers Australia, they normally they ask you to send a copy of the final report or the work that you guys did. So as long as your name is there, and you will see that during the career episodes, you can obviously mention that the work was done in a group. You just need to make sure that you specify what you actually did. So in that group, you can say, I don't know, who's done what, were you the team leader or not, or you just a team member, or somebody else was a team leader, who was a supervisor, was a professor. If you don't have the final report, we can ask, well, you can ask a letter from the university. One of my students, she couldn't find the final report because the report was done in 2001, and it was too long ago, and I helped her, so we drafted a letter. She sent to the university, and the university sent it back. She sent the career episode as well, so the course coordinator could kind of see, all right, what you've written is what we taught you in class. So Engineers Australia accepted that letter because she couldn't really get the copy of the report. But your experience appears to be interesting because you are doing analyzing processes, you are analyzing probably the production processes, you're analyzing the utilization of human resources with the objective of improving efficiency, layout of production. It's also a form of improvement as well. So
just the only point is that they would both be in the same year. So one just first semester of 2011, and the second one second semester. And then like the third career episode, I would probably do my TCC that we call in Brazil, which was applied in the company that I work. Is there any issue like writing two in the same year, or?
Yeah, well, because you're writing one from the end of your course, is probably all right. Because if you're writing just the three of ones from the beginning of the course, the assessor may think, it's a bit too green, needs something a little bit more advanced. But if you are, especially because I think in the beginning probably have the core subjects, which are the more kind of the fundamental ones. So it shouldn't really be a problem.
Sounds great. The third one would be in a bank. So I was working for Sicredi Bank for almost 3 years, 2-3 years when I did that. And it was also like in the improvement, but it would be like much more focused on the information and indicators that my area was responsible to generate and to send monthly. So my thesis was much more like analyzing all indicators, then suggesting a dashboard to improve the use of that information by the staff and people that were the users of that. I did use like I don't know how we call it. That would be multi-criteria.
Multi-criteria. Right?
Yeah. So I'm not sure if that's something that I can definitely. I have enough to write because I have a lot of material to write that. Just not sure if that would match the equation.
Yeah, the industrial engineer, they do analyzing in terms of commercial business as well. In terms of banks, more like services, So that could be a little bit, yeah, we need probably to discuss with a little bit more details. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, we can catch up later on with a little bit more details about this particular one. Because in terms of commercial, for example, they might say about, let's say, Bunnings, warehouse.
Yeah.
Bunnings warehouse, it's a commercial one. You could be providing some consultancy there, and then to improve the way that they do warehousing, they do their supply chain and those sort of things. So when they talk about the commercial aspect in the industrial engineering, is more like this one. Banks, yeah, they also commercial, but here the commercial word, it's more about this. David Jones and Myers and Bunnings and Office Works and those sort of, yeah. So
which
we might, yeah. So you might need to explore a little bit more about your bank experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
All right. Any other particular question?
Not in particular.
Yeah.
Not at the moment. I don't know how we are doing in our time. I have no idea actually.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I say 15 minutes, but yeah, it's all good. Yeah.
Yeah. I think for now that would be what I've thought before.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the next episodes, like the modules, I will have a lot of questions.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw in the VIP group, but I put in there that not this Saturday, but the next Saturday, the 18th, we're going to have our catch-up session with the students. So 9 a.m. in the morning on Saturday at the 18th. I think in Sydney it's going to be 10 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. But I will send in the group a reminder, and I'm going to send an email as well.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. All right.
Great.
Now, thank you very much, Bruna, and nice to talk to you. And we'll certainly catch up.
Yeah. Thank you, Jason.
All right, then. Thanks. See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much, Bruna. And she was the lucky winner of the free consulting services that we drew on during the closing webinar of the workshop. And now I'm going to get some of the questions. I'll check if there's any questions on Instagram and YouTube. Saulo in Instagram, he's asking, for the electrical engineer, is the market good? Saulo, the market is very good for electrical engineers. We actually in the market to hire a senior project manager in the electrical area. So it's really, really hot. We went to the market last year, end of last year, to hire a senior project manager for the electrical with knowledge of electrical and ITS for roads and infrastructure, and we didn't hire anyone. I was a panel chair, and we did not find anybody suitable. So it's really, really hot. Obviously, you need to have the right skills and the right knowledge. In YouTube, Mahesh is asking, hi Jason, would like to know the job market in Australia, especially for chemical process engineer profession. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not quite sure about chemical and process engineering because I'm not very not very in contact with them, but I've got friends that they are working in the area, in the industry, and Australia nowadays is hot for all types of engineers. So you will, again, as long as you have the right skill sets, and also nowadays, it's not just about the hard skills, not just about the technical skills that you have, but also about your soft skills, your positive attitude, your initiative, your willingness to learn. Those sort of characteristics in an engineer is also very important. How to deal with a team, having difficult conversations, human resources management, those sort of things. If you can demonstrate those skills, you will be very competitive in the market. All right, so some of the questions that I still have here from the workshop, I'll just grab some of those ones. A very common question that people keep asking me, and obviously, hopefully, after they finish the workshop, they participate in the workshop, they know about it. But people are still asking about the steps for the validation process. And there are 6 very simple steps. The first one is about your personal documentation. So your personal information, personal documentation about your photo, like a passport photo, your identification document, can be your national identification card, or it could be your passport page as well. Also, if you change your name because of marriage, or here in Australia you can actually change your name, you need to have your change of name certificate or your marriage certificate. Also your resume or your CV, and also your English test. So the English test, obviously, you need to be at least the minimum score according to the test that you did, IELTS, TOEFL, or PTE. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is about the choice of your category and your occupation. So it could be the category, professional engineer, engineering technologist, or engineering technician, or engineering associate. And the occupation is if you are a civil engineer, mechanical engineer, production engineer, industrial engineer like Bruna. So you need to choose that. The third step is your academic documentation. So your copy of your bachelor degree certificate, any post-graduation, your academic transcript, and or any other relevant academic documentation as well. The fourth step is your evidence of skilled employment. Especially if you're going to base your experience, your career episodes on work experience, you need to have your reference letter. And also, if you're going to ask Engineers Australia to do your relevant skilled employment assessment, you need to have your reference letter as well. And then the fifth step is your reports. So you have 3 types of reports that you need to provide. First one is your CPD, the continuing professional development, all the learning events and the professional development events that you did. Also the 3 career episodes, which are the examples and engineering experiences that you need to describe as part of your validation process, and also your summary statement, which is obviously the summary of all 16 competencies and the evidences that you achieved those competencies. And the last step is about the application itself. You go to the Engineers Australia website, and then you upload your documents, you fill the blanks, you choose the service that you want Engineers Australia to do, you pay the fee, and you submit your application. All right. Other questions that I've got here. Madeira is asking, what is included in my mentoring for the validation? Well, what's included is, thank you very much for the question, Romulo. What's included is my online course. I've got the step-by-step for the validation process as an online course, 25 modules where I explain from the beginning until the end, and I'll teach you how to prepare your application and how to prepare a very strong report so you can be approved by Engineers Australia. So that's the online course. Also, what's included, 9 extra bonuses in the VIP group in Telegram. My students, they are part of a VIP group where they ask questions and then I answer the questions in the group. That's why it's a group mentoring. And the beauty of that is that when one student has a question and then asks the question in the group, I respond, I answer the question in the group, and I answer then to everybody. So one question of one student can also be your question, but you didn't think about it yet. But when I answer the question, you are obviously get the advantage of knowing the answer already because I answer for the whole group. Also, as part of the bonus is my 3 ebooks. I've written 3 ebooks to get a job as an engineer. One is to improve your CV, another one your cover letter, and the other one for professional interviews. Another bonus that's included in my mentoring is the comments and feedback that I gave to students. 13 pages of comments and feedback. That's very important. So if you follow those comments and don't make those mistakes, your application is going to be really good. I do catch-up session with my students. On the 18th of March, I'm going to have a catch-up session with the students where they can ask me questions about obviously the content of the classes and their questions about their process as well. I also have created few spreadsheets to help you to organize your thinking before start writing your career episodes. So those spreadsheets will help you to organize all your experiences, examples, a tool for you to take notes while you watch it, while you watch the classes as well. I also will promote my catch-up session with the students twice a year. So all students, they invited to the catch-up session online, obviously, and to share experiences, especially those ones that got validated. What did they do right? What didn't they do very right? And so there's a group learning with that. And obviously the discount until Sunday, I'm including $600 discount. So the investment is just $897 at the moment. So that's just for the first 20 students. And enrollments closed this coming Sunday, the 12th of March, 11:59 p.m. After that, you can be in a waiting list for the next group, which I don't know when that's going to be. All right, just double checking there. If there is more question, no more question in YouTube. No more question in Instagram. So check some of the questions that I received during the workshop. Yeah, there's a very good question about what are the most common difficulties during the validation process? So the most common difficulties during the validation process, it's not in a specific order, but I have a list of the difficulties. One is about procrastination. So people procrastinate a lot. They know that they gotta do it. They know that they need to validate their qualification, but they procrastinate and they never do it. Another one is about lack of clarity, what experience they're going to use for their career episodes. That's a very difficult thing that people find out. The other difficulty is not knowing how to address the competencies, the 16 competencies that are required by Engineers Australia. Another difficulty, people, they struggle to get the minimum score of English. Another difficulty is that people, they don't like to write reports. I think nobody does it. Another difficulty, people, they don't know how to start writing the career episodes. That's a common difficulty. Another difficulty is not having enough time to do their validation process. Another difficulty is not having enough money to do the validation process, because you will need about $2,000 if you think about Engineers Australia fee, your English test, your translation. So you will need about $2,000. Another difficulty, people, they say that they cannot get a reference letter from the employers, either because the company already closed, or when they left the company, they didn't leave in a very good way, and the company is not going to give them any reference letter. So there's much more difficulties, but yeah, our time is very limited, and I need to finish soon because I don't want to extend. We almost already 45 minutes. All right. And the last question, how long does the process take? Well, I'm going to answer in terms of you preparing your reports, and then I'll finish the live session for tonight. Depends on how much time you're going to put every day, every week. I've got students of my mentoring group that they finished in 2.5 weeks, because they had to finish in 2.5 weeks to apply, so we could kind of get their visa according to their migration agent. So they finish in 2.5 weeks. Other people, they take their time. They take 1 year to do it. But in average, I'd say that if you dedicate a few hours a week, 4 or 5 hours a week, you can finish in 3 months. So 3 months or 12 weeks, I think it's a reasonable time for you to do it. When you apply for Engineers Australia, then the process, from what I'm hearing, is taking about between 10 and 15 weeks. If you pay fast track, it's probably taking 30 days, 40 days. All right? Okay, well, thank you very much, guys. I'm running out of time. But Sunday, 12th of March, 8:30 p.m., I'm going to do another live session, and I'm going to give away the consulting with Gian. And on the night, I'm going to choose somebody else, and I'll give that somebody else 15 minutes of free consulting on the same day. So make sure that you attend the live session on Sunday, 12 of March, 8:30 p.m. Brisbane time.